Hello, lovely listeners. I am going to be doing something a bit different today. I had this realization recently that I have this amazing podcast, this amazing resource, and this amazing platform. And so, one of the things that I wanted to do was create a message for my child, maybe future children, and use this and the ability to create this for them. And also, potentially, it could just be something fun to listen to. It's going to be different to my usual style. I did not make notes. I just want to speak to the heart, which means this is going to be imperfect, flawed, probably not, probably things that I would change about it at a later date. But I had this idea, and you know me and ideas. I do like to run with them, and I like to run with them instead of perfecting them. And I think that's even maybe the first thing that I want to say, is that it's okay to run with things and to do them imperfectly and to be willing to get smarter by doing them and to know that you could have done them better. But to me, I will always choose that over not doing them, not doing things, not, enacting ideas because I want them to be perfect or I want them to be right. Something done imperfectly is so much more valuable than something not done at all. And I know this personally because I am that person that had 300 ideas in my notes app of business ideas and volunteer ideas and all these ideas and potential things I was going to do that became nothing. So that's maybe my first message to you is don't be afraid to do the thing. Don't be afraid to do it imperfectly. Perfection is never going to happen anyway, I'll tell you that much. And don't be afraid to know after doing something that you could have done it better. That's part of the value of doing something, is the learning afterwards that you can do it better. Now, if you ask me, what's the main thing that I want you to know? I really just want you to know that you are loved, and you are loved obviously by me. And I think all of us, so, if you guys are listening to this long before my children will, I think it's something all of us want to be reminded of. You are loved. We are loved. And I don't think it's something we're reminded of enough. I saw this quote or this story on Instagram that was saying how we need like 8 hugs a day. And it's really made me think about, firstly, how often I'm hugging you, and also how often I'm hugging full stop. And so if you are listening to this and you felt some kind of reaction when I said you are loved, then get that hug. And also, by the way, hugging yourself totally counts. Hugging a teddy or a soft toy that you love definitely counts. Give yourself that affection. Sometimes, one of the things that I will do is tickle my own arm. It's something I find really soothing and comforting. And so I really do encourage you to reach out to others, tell them that you love them, call your mum or your kids, use this podcast to reach out, love others, open yourself up to be loved. And yeah, let's inspire that way. Another thing that I would say to you, and I'm just thinking now, like what age, but I'm just going to say what I say and it will land with you maybe at different points at different stages, which is don't let anybody else talk you out of what you want to do, what you want to test, what you want to try. Society has ended up building up all these rules around what success looks like, around what we should be doing with our time, what's a valuable use of our time, and what's an invaluable use of our time or a waste of our time. Anything that you want to do, independent of the outcome, right? Independent without attachment to what it's going to create for you, what it's going to create for your work, what it's going to create for your world. If you want to do something, then I really encourage you to do it. Now, as I'm speaking as a mum here, I obviously also want to relay that, be safe, create safety for yourself, allow others to create safety for you, and don't believe the hype that safety is something outside of you. This is something that I personally have struggled with for years. I attached a lot of safety to financial security, which is interesting for an entrepreneur and a sole income earner, and the journey that I've had the past few years, because it's continued to give me the opportunity to reclaim that safety. When the financial security wasn't there, when I didn't have that comfort, initially I felt unsafe. I did feel unsafe. And then that's what allowed me to build safety within myself and to remind myself what safety actually is outside of what I've been told that it is in society. So what I mean by this is, like, if I can put my hand on my chest and focus on, the flat of my feet and breathe and have access to water and shelter, like I'm safe. And I just really want to encourage you to create little, maybe safety rituals that can comfort you at any time. Like I said, one of the things I love to do is put my hand on my chest or tickle my own arm. I love to close my eyes and go inwards and just really connect to my core safety. When so much of the world tells me that I need to buy lots of things to be safe, or to have a certain amount of money in my bank account to be safe. I hope that you do things career-wise that you want to do, even if that's not all the time. I love my work, I love my mission, I love my purpose, and I still spend some of my time doing things that I don't absolutely love. And I think that's okay. I just want to normalize that you don't have to love every single thing you do 100% of the time. You're still human, having a human experience. And the range and diversity in that experience is the value. I love spending time with you. I love cuddling with you. I love playing with you. And maybe I don't have cleaning nappies, or we're doing potty training at the moment. But I don't have to love every single thing that we do to love our time together. And the same applies, sorry, I hope I didn't embarrass you. But the same applies with work, or with missions, or with purpose, or with anything that I'm spending my time with. And I just really, again, it's another way that creepy perfectionism shows up, where it's like I'm either 100% in love with everything I'm doing all the time, or this isn't the right thing for me. There is probably going to be things that you don't thoroughly love, while hopefully pursuing things that you do. I would also say, don't make the mistake, or don't let your regret be that you listen to other people above listening to yourself. Now, there's going to be a time when you do that. There was for sure a time when I did that. But don't, as soon as you realize it, or maybe it's just right now and you're listening to this podcast, don't let the lesson be that other people were wrong. Let the lesson be that you were wrong. Now, this can feel terrifying, because it's great to outsource the responsibility and say, you made this mistake on my life, but that steals from you an opportunity to get to know yourself, to trust yourself, to develop yourself, to know yourself, to listen to yourself. And I want you to be willing to take big, uncomfortable steps and stands for things that might not be right for you, and that's okay. There is, for me, in my experience, I felt like a lot of my time I was taught to outsource responsibility to others, whether it was teachers, or schools, or parents, or anyone older than me, or managers, or whoever it might be. And I really let people's opinions slow me down and stop me from doing things. And those are my biggest regrets, because those are the lessons that I can't relearn. Those are the experiences that I can't rehave. So, learning that someone else wasn't right about you is not going to shape your life, because that's probably always going to be true. But I want you to learn the skill of being right about you. And that comes with being wrong about you. And that's not a fixed place to be, by the way, right? In pursuit of getting to know ourselves, we are going to experience some things where we have an outcome that we didn't expect, or an experience that we didn't enjoy, or whatever it might be. So let that be the lesson, because I promise you now, no one else can make the best decisions for you, me included, even if sometimes in the future I say otherwise. I would say really be present with the moments that you are in. That's probably the most powerful thing. It's so easy in a world of distractions to want to do it all at once, want to be there for everyone and everything all the time, want to be the fastest responder, want people to know you're available for them. this can pull us out of the moment. And there's nothing, to me, in my experience, that slows down time, this like amazing, luscious resource that we have, this true gift, like true presence. I think about the moments where I look into your eyes when I'm speaking to you, and the rest of the world falls away and disappears. Or we're giggling, playing on the floor, and it's like my brain isn't anywhere else but with you. Those are the most precious moments. And the more you create them, even if they're just 5 seconds, like build that muscle, build that ability to be present, build that ability to connect with what's right in front of you, or who's right in front of you, or even the task at hand if you want, or even nothingness. And that's going to take me to my next point, which is have conversations with yourself, listen to yourself. I always think about like the relationships that we have externally and how I wouldn't, if we only had 1 hour together today, I wouldn't spend it with the TV on, ignoring you, and I wouldn't spend it like on my phone ignoring you. I would really want to listen to you. And I think sometimes one of the things most of us is craving the most is the opportunity to listen and communicate with ourselves. And this can happen just by sitting exactly where you are, or walking, or doing whatever you want, and just like shutting out the noise. And I like to say to myself, even if it makes me look or sound crazy, like, what do you want to talk about today? What's going on for you? How are you feeling really? I'm here for you. I love listening to you. Like, I really encourage you to build that relationship with yourself, that self-validation, that willingness to communicate with yourself. Your relationship with yourself, this sounds cheesy, but it's true, is the most important relationship that you will have, and it will set you up for more strong, giving, generous, honest relationships with others. The other thing I want to offer you is that you will sometimes experience disappointment, shame, frustration, anger, sadness, grief, and all of these are part of the human experience as well. And I just want to invite you to, in those moments, know that it's not those emotions or love. It's not those emotions or compassion. It's not those emotions or calm or presence. So I really want to invite you to allow that human experience, and know that it doesn't mean that you cannot have any other experience at the same time. Don't make any of your emotions mean that you are wrong. You are not wrong. You are not supposed to be happy all the time. This is the human experience. And that's the buy-in. This is, to me, honestly, feeling emotions that maybe I wouldn't choose if I was picking, out of a box in front of me, has allowed me to be more empathetic, more compassionate, more understanding of others and myself, more accepting, more loving. Like, these things do not make us wrong. We are often taught in society that they are wrong, and therefore when we have them, we are wrong, and that leads us to hide them, to avoid them. And that kind of like, being busy, being always on the phone, saying yes to back-to-back plans, all things that I've done in my life. But I also encourage you to allow them as part of your human experience, because they're part of all of our human experience. And let's understand other humans as well. I think, humanity is always going to benefit from us being human and embracing our humanness. I'm going to stop it here because I feel like there's been quite a lot of content here. And while I could go on for days, and I do hope that you get to watch this one day. And if you guys are listening live, maybe even share this with, if you want, with your kids or loved ones. But I just want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. It's such a privilege being in your life. And that's for the listeners, and that's obviously for my kids, and that's for your kids and for your loved ones. So thank you for being here. I hope you like this unique episode idea. And it's been the ultimate example of being willing to do something imperfectly, being willing to take an idea and see it through to completion, even though I could maybe have done it better, even though maybe there are other things that I would want to say. And at a later point, I'll say, oh, I wish I would have said this instead of that. Whatever comes up, like, I'm so proud of myself for doing this. And I hope this is an example for all of you watching or listening, that you get to do something imperfectly. And that's always going to be more powerful than trying to do it perfectly and not doing it at all. All right, that's it from me, everybody. Thank you. Bye.